Hey everyone, and happy Merry Christmas in July. I love Christmas in July because July is like the worst month. I shouldn't say that. July is a fine month. I actually recently did an Instagram poll, so as you can tell, like very official and, clear data. But my question was, is your favorite month between September and December or January and July? And I think something like 80 or 90% of people said between September and December. So leave me a comment below and let me know your favorite month, your favorite time of year. But anyway, I love Christmas in July, and it got me thinking about how to start planning and preparing and getting ready for the holidays early, well in advance, so that this season is a little bit calmer and more enjoyable because I've done a lot of the hard stuff and the prep work earlier. So I want to go through a few lists that I'm going to make in my planner to help me start getting prepared for the holiday season. Another thing I want to say before we jump in, actually I want to add this, is that the two main purposes of this for me getting organized are: one, organization so that I'm not stressed at the last minute, and two, budget. A lot of it comes down to money and budget, because as you get closer to the holidays, and I'll talk about a lot of these things in my list, it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was gonna have to buy that. Oh my gosh, that's another thing. And then when you thought you were prepared, you're like, oh, I wasn't as prepared as I thought. This past year after the holidays, I wouldn't say I was unprepared, but I was underprepared. So this year I want to focus and make sure that I am completely ready and have some extra cushion room in many different areas. My first list to double check, checking it twice, anyway, is my address list. So I feel like people move every year. It's always good to update, make sure that you have zip codes correct, everything is fine, everything is good. This list started with my mom 10 years ago when I was getting married, and she typed up all of the addresses for our wedding, and it was in Comic Sans font. So the font has been changed. I love my mom, but the font, the font. She was an elementary school teacher for a really long time, and elementary school teachers love Comic Sans. Most of them do anyway. And it's, it's not a bad font, and why do we need to talk about the font? But the point is that I have taken this list and I have turned it into my address book, essentially. But I do like to update it every year before I send holiday cards out to make sure that if anyone's moved, I've changed things. So what I'll do is I'll go in there, I'll highlight everything in one color, and then what I'll do is I will unhighlight it after their address has been confirmed. I don't normally check with every single person, but if I know somebody moved, I'll definitely update it. Or maybe you just go through and you highlight your addresses that somebody has moved, or whatever the case may be. So number one, check your address list. Number two, your greeting card list. So maybe you send out holiday cards every year. Maybe you get the pre-printed kind, which I don't think I ever did this, maybe 1 or 2 years, but then I had a baby, and now of course I do like the family photo or like just a picture of Penny, and I put it on a card and I mail it. But the thing is, I feel like I'm always a little late. I'm like, it's December 1st and I'm like, oh my gosh, you didn't get the card. So by the time that I look at cards, I'm like, that's outrageously priced. I'm not spending that on cards that people are gonna literally recycle on January 14th. And then I find a Groupon or some deal for it, then I order it. The cards are now arriving, even if they get shipped super fast. It's like December 12th, and then I'm stressed. So my thought is that I'm going to try to do that all in November this year, and by having my card list ready to go and my addresses checked, that will be really beneficial. So list number 2 is my holiday greeting card list. List number 3 is a list of things that need to be done that are non-time sensitive but time consuming that I can work on now. Now I know that was really long-winded, but let me give you an example. Every year I make my husband a Shutterfly book for the holidays, and it's really sweet. I put pictures of our baby from how she's really not a baby anymore, she's a toddler now, but how she's grown over the year, and family pictures. It's a really sweet book, and it's always the last gift I give him, and we look at it, normally while she's napping, and it's just really a nice gift, but it takes a lot of time. So ultimately I usually wait until again, December 1st, and I'm like, oh, why didn't you start this sooner? But not this year. This year I'm gonna get my act together in advance. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start that book now. In July, I'm gonna get last holidays through now, and each month I'm just gonna spend 20 minutes or 30 minutes adding pictures, so that when December rolls around, I just have to add a few pages, wait for a coupon code, click order, and it'll be way easier than waiting until the last minute. So if you have things that you like to make, especially gifts, like maybe you sew or crochet or knit, or you can build stuff, woodworking, whatever it is, if it is super time consuming, get started now because it will save you a ton of time as the holidays get closer. List number 4 is my holiday cleaning list. Now I know a lot of people like to do spring cleaning, but for me there is nothing that I love more than a fresh house clean right before the holidays. So for example, I really like to dust off and clean the wall unit area near the TV and my bookshelf because I tend to put up a lot of holiday decorations, or my entryway area to my house. I like to decorate my tiered tray, and I just typically have like sunscreen and mail and random stuff there. So I love to do a deep house cleaning before the holidays. And it's also nice because this year, you know, we'll have people visiting and it'll be really nice, and to have things clean a little bit in advance is really useful. So thinking about guest rooms or bathrooms, even just like if people are gonna sleep on your couch and you just wanna vacuum, do the baseboards or the crown molding or whatever you have in your house, anything that you can do, extra laundry that you haven't addressed, extra sheets, towels, whatever, make your pre-holiday cleaning list and it will be a lot nicer when you finally start putting up decorations. List number 5, and this is an obvious one, but it kind of goes along with some subsequent lists, so I want to talk about this, is your gift list, which impacts your budget. So I feel like every year what happens is I make a sinking fund of a few $100s for, you know, gifts for family and friends and whatever. And then the holidays roll around and I have accidentally forgotten someone that like I can't not get a gift for. Someone that I care about, or maybe you wind up going to like a friend's house or a work party and there's a white elephant and you didn't think about that. And then, you know, they're doing like the adopt a tree thing and you want to make a donation or buy something for somebody to donate. And then before you know it, you are a couple $100s over your budget, and not because you've been frivolous or anything, but just because there are some people, events, and things that you didn't consider. So by starting your gift list and thinking about your budget now, you can start brainstorming, and it's early enough that you have time to set up a sinking fund and start saving. So by doing this now, you will be getting ahead for the holidays. The next list is the other events going on list. So what are some other events? Maybe you're traveling somewhere, maybe someone's getting married, there's weddings, someone's having a baby, all things that you would want to send a gift for. And if you forget about those things now, you might not have room in your budget to really fully travel the way that you want to, or, you know, it might be tight to give somebody a gift that you want to. So think about it now, make a list of things that are going to be happening between October and December, and start thinking about saving for them, because as the holidays come, it starts getting busier and you forget those little details, and again, those can have a real hit to your budget. They're all really special things, really important things, but you want to make sure that you set yourself up for success in advance. Next up is the events I did last year and events that I hope to do this year list. So go back to your old planner from 2020 or look at your social media. It was probably a very different holiday season, so maybe there were things that you typically do for the holidays that you didn't do just because, you know, there was a global pandemic going on. But let's say you did do some things. Refer back to anything that would remind you of what you did last year and put that down. The reason why is because it will remind you, oh, do you know what? I went to that party and I made my famous fudge, so I need to make sure that I have all the ingredients well in advance for that, so I'm not like, you know, stressed in the last minute trying to get ingredients and prep that the night before. Other things too that, you know, you might want to bring a gift or a bottle of wine or a box of chocolate, all of that. So those events are things that have happened in the past that can help you prepare and be on top of your schedule and your budget for this year. And another thing to consider is events that you couldn't do last year that you really want to do this year, like that trip to New York to see the Rockettes, because, you know, a lot of shows weren't happening and things weren't going on, or those ice sculptures, and, you know, whatever it may be, make sure you consider that now, because it would be so easy, and rightfully so, to be like, you know what, last year we couldn't do this, so this year this needs to be the best holiday season ever. I want to do what I want to do. I want to spend time with my family and friends. And before you know it, you get your credit card statement in January and you are like, oh my gosh, like, what was I thinking? So just think of those things now to help you get prepared in advance. Next list is your basics list. And I know I keep coming back to the budget, but even though I feel like I am super budget friendly and budget conscious and thinking about all those things, this past January, I feel like it took me the entire month to sort of recover and recuperate from the holidays. So I want to make sure that I'm thinking about these things in advance. But what I mean by basics list is basic things that you need around your house that, you know, you might go through a little bit quicker around the holidays. So you have people coming and staying with you, so maybe paper towels, laundry detergent, toilet paper, anything like that, that, you know, when you go to the grocery store or you're running to Target and it's the holidays and you're already buying last minute things, and like I said, your budget is like, oh, I didn't realize I was gonna have to get that. Well, then you add box of trash bags and laundry detergent and a couple other things, and it's like $75 additional. So my suggestion right now is to get double. So let's say you're gonna go buy trash bags, it's August or whatever. Get yourself 2 boxes so that you can tuck one away so that you have extra things stocked up around your house when it's the holidays. One, because it's nice to have extras so you don't have to run out when the stores are crazy or whatever. You have people in town, it's just more convenient, but also you don't have to put those unexpected last minute things into your budget when your budget may already be a little tight because of the holidays. Next list is the cleaning and organizing so it doesn't become a New Year's resolution list. What I mean by that is that it's common to get toys and clothes and stuff for you and your family and your kids, and then you look at this huge pile under the tree, which is, you know, so lovely if you and your family are able to do that, but then you look at your house and you're like, where am I gonna put all of this stuff? And my closet was already overflowing and I can't shove one more t-shirt into my drawer to begin with, let alone, like, it just feels a little overwhelming of what am I gonna do with all of these new wonderful gifts. So what I recommend doing is in November, take a trash bag, walk around your house and get clothing in one that you wanna donate, maybe gift some old toys to some friends and donate the rest of those, but do some pre-holiday cleaning in terms of organization and donation. So that way, when you have gifts and new things are arriving into your house, you have the space for them and it doesn't feel cluttered and overwhelming. The next list that's good to make is a decorations list. So this might seem obvious. You go into the garage or the attic, you get your boxes out and you decorate your house. But think back to last holiday season. Are there any lights or anything that's damaged, things that you might want to make anew? You might want to try to make your own wreath this year. Your doormat got damaged last year and you had to throw it away. Whatever the case may be, think now about those decor items, especially as the holiday sales come up, Cyber Monday, all of those things. So that way you know what you're looking for in advance and it's not waiting until you unpack a box and realize that something is damaged or you threw it away last year. You have that list of decor items that you're looking for. The next list is a travel list. So I have several parts of the travel list. There's like sub lists for this. So the first is that I should actually back up and say I am so excited and really hoping that we can actually travel this year. So Zach and I, before we had Penny and before there was a global pandemic, used to travel everywhere and it was amazing. And we didn't really buy fancy things for ourselves, but we always made it a priority to travel several times a year. So we haven't been on any trips in the last like 3 years. And so we're really hoping that for our 10th wedding anniversary, we can go to California and go to Disneyland. So we're also in the process of buying a house right now. So I don't know if that's gonna happen just with timing and logistics and all that, but I want to make a list of things that will help me prep to do some holiday travel because we would probably go in December when things are going to be a little bit busy and chaotic and it's easy to forget things. So there are the basic packing list items of things that could get forgotten like toiletries or chargers or things like that, but there are also those pre-travel holiday to-do things that you want to do. So like stop your mail, make sure you send any holiday packages before you leave so that they arrive on time, finish holiday shopping. So anything that could be related to travel, it's good to put on this list. And my last list, the food items that you're typically responsible for making for holiday functions and family parties. Maybe there are certain holiday items that you always make. So holiday cookies or a special drink or a cake or really anything, a dish, a casserole, and maybe you make it in large batches because you give it to multiple people, you gift it, you take it to a lot of different places, parties, whatever the case may be. If there's any part of that, any ingredients that you can get now or start shopping for early, it will be nice to do that in advance. One, for the sake of simplicity and being organized and having it well in advance, but also you won't be buying everything all at once, which could make things a little bit easier for your budget. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Merry happy Christmas in July. I just love celebrating this because I just get so cranky this time of year. I told my mom the other day, I was like, I can't believe summer's over. It went so fast. And she was like, it's the middle of July. Summer's not over. And I'm like, well, I have to pretend it is because I have back sweat and I am cranky about it. So this is how I am dealing with that, is pretending that it's the holidays already. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If there are any lists that I missed that you think would be beneficial, put them in the comments below. And also let me know in the comments below if you're celebrating Christmas in July, if you're ready to put your pumpkins out, if you're ready for the holidays, or if you're still enjoying summer. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.